we were talking about our students at the Entrepreneurship Center about like, what is your favorite class? Why do you want to be here at the EC? And he's like, this is the only class that I know that I will use.
Yep.
He said, I know I have to take AP biology. He said, but I'm never going to use that. I'm never going to use world geography. I'm going to use entrepreneurship. Maybe one day I won't own my own business, but the skills of the networking, the finance, the collaborating, those are the skills that he will use for a lifetime.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of I Fired Myself. My name is Scott Armstrong, and I got one of the, this episode is just going to blow your mind. I don't even know where to start with this one. So I had the privilege of meeting Paula Chilton at an event that I was out there filming, and this event was at a place called the Entrepreneurial and Innovation Center. The Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center down in Franklin, Tennessee. And I was like, what is this place? As it turns out, the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center, otherwise known as the EIC, is a part of the Williamson County public school system. It's literally an entrepreneur center for the public high school where they teach their students. She said that their class that they start with is Entrepreneurship 101. So for as much as we talk about like, you know, how public schools failing students, and I talk about how I was never taught entrepreneurship, like that option was never available to me. Well, I'm happy to report that in this day and age, there are public school systems that are really encouraging their kids to grasp onto entrepreneurship if that's what they want. And so this is a fantastic conversation with Paula and everything that they're doing. My mind is just blown, and I can't believe, and I'm just super fired up to know that there's something like this out there, and hearing some of the successes that their students are having. Like their students are winning 2 years in a row the national pitch competition. They're actually growing businesses that are producing massive amounts of revenue, like as a junior or senior in high school. Unbelievable stuff. So I'm really excited to bring this episode to you guys. If you want to learn how to become an entrepreneur, if you didn't have the luxury of having an entrepreneurship center at your high school and you're just learning these concepts now, click the link below to the school community. It's called How to Become an Entrepreneur. It's got well over 20 hours worth of content right now, including a 8-module roadmap series that helps you find a runway to go from being in a paycheck job to being a full-blown, fully launched business owner, having left your paycheck job in the dust. In addition to that, we've got a massive, basically about 10 modules of sales training, everything I spent thousands of dollars to learn, and that I've actually implemented in my business and having success, closing more sales, more confident going into a sales meeting. So come join us, check that out. And also we do a weekly strategy session for all the entrepreneurs in the group. It's every Saturday morning. So sign up for a free trial, and it's super cheap outside of that. But like, you know, sign up for the free trial, come hang out with us Saturday mornings, and you might learn something. You might learn something that'll change your life. So without further ado, very happy to bring you Paula Chilton and her story at the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center. All right, guys, I'll see you later. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of I Fired Myself. I am very excited for this one. I had the privilege of meeting Paula last week at an event at her amazing space, and we're going to learn all about it because this blew my mind. Now, one of the things I've talked about, like in my course and on this community and on the show, for me at least, when I was growing up, when I was in public school, the idea of entrepreneurship was not offered to me. It was, and Paula, this is funny. I'll get into this with you in a minute. But my mom worked in my high school as the career counselor. That was her job. And her job was to help students find out what college to go to and then what corporate job to get into. So it was deeply ingrained into me that like that's your only option. And so
Exactly.
And so when I grew up and I discovered the magic of entrepreneurship, this is a new thing. And then I discovered Paula and what she's doing at the Entrepreneurship Center. And it's like they're teaching kids from all over the Williamson County area, just south of Nashville, about entrepreneurship. It's so unbelievable. So Paula Chilton, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Scott. And you know what you were talking about, like even when I went to high school, and I know that was a long time ago, but it was the same thing. When you entered high school, you had to decide what path you're going. You're either going to go on the college route or you're going to go to vocational tech, right? And still, you know, our students have to make that decision. But now, like what we used to know as vocational school is CCTE, College Career Technical Education. And CTE, it's huge. These are the skills that students are going to learn. And I said skills,
Yep.
which is a huge difference between learning your AP English, AP Biology, our students are actually learning skills. Maybe in entrepreneurship, that skill is networking.
Yep.
Maybe it's how to use a 3D printer. Maybe it's how to use an embroidery machine. In Williamson County, we have CTE programs all in our schools. They're using podcast equipment, digital photography. They're using different programs, and that is really, what our students need. Had this conversation just today. We were talking about our students at the Entrepreneurship Center about like, what is your favorite class? Why do you want to be here at the EC? And he's like, this is the only class that I know that I will use.
Yep.
He said, I know I have to take AP biology. He said, but I'm never going to use that. I'm never going to use world geography. I'm going to use entrepreneurship. Maybe one day I won't own my own business, but the skills of the networking, the finance, the collaborating, those are the skills that he will use for a lifetime.
Yep, absolutely. And that, I'm learning these skills now as an adult, just in the last several years. Like I've learned about sales and how to run a CRM, like a customer relation management tool, or how to get leads, and then sales. Oh my gosh. Like that's been my deep fascination, is like learning how to run a sales meeting, like how to overcome objections, like these things. Like I was never taught this stuff. So that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this information now far and wide. And I just can't tell you how inspired I was at the event last week when I saw you and your students and they're having success. And it's just like my mind was blown. And so I came up to you, I was like, Paula, I have to have you on my show. We have to connect and we have to get to know each other because this is unfreaking believable. And it's giving me a lot of hope and inspiration. So let's just start at the top. I want to learn more about what the Entrepreneurship Center is. Tell us everything about it. And then we'll hear more about your background and how you got passionate about this. So tell us
Yeah.
everything about the Entrepreneurship Center, because it's an
Well,
amazing facility. It's unbelievable.
the Entrepreneurship Center actually started back in 2019. This building used to be the vocational building. It used to be, I think, the auto shop. And then it became Columbia State. And then Williamson County bought it back again to revamp it into the Entrepreneurship Center. Open concept area. We have the maker space upstairs. It is meant to not feel or look like a regular classroom. It's meant to feel like you're coming in, this is a workplace, and we want to encourage collaboration. We have 4 teachers. Students come in every day. This is a class, they get a grade. So we're traditional in that sense, as we have to take attendance, we have to put a grade in the grade book. We have certified teachers. And you have to come in every day. And of course, we do have bus transportation, and some of our students drive. When it started, there were about 70 students, and now we're at 280 students.
That's amazing.
It started out with just one class, what we call EI1, which is the Intro to Entrepreneurship Center or Intro to Entrepreneurship. Now we have 4 levels of class. We have Intro to Entrepreneurship. Then we have what we call accelerators. So some of our students, maybe in their second year, they decide to pivot to a new business, which entrepreneurs do. Maybe their business did not work and that's why they have to pivot. Maybe their partnership did not work. That's something else that students have figured out. Maybe they're just not passionate about it. And so they actually pivot their second year. As a third year student, we're trying to connect them with different jobs within the EC and mentorship, as far as mentoring our younger students, our EI1 and our EI2. We also have students in a middle school program. Some of those students go, and I mean, we're trying to, just build that program up. We have to start from elementary, really, elementary, middle, and high. And that's okay, because those elementary students, they're learning a skill set too. When they're outside, even if it's selling lemonade, they have to approach people. How are you going to get people to come to your lemonade stand? And then we have EI4, which is pretty much a practicum. They have an internship, a full internship, and they are working with a business.
That's just
Now,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're in year 7. Yeah, wow, year 7. And we're growing. We have a building kind of behind the Entrepreneurship Center called the Innovation Center. So what we've been doing is rebranding. We began as the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center, the EIC. And we got a grant from the governor, applied for this grant to build a new building, and it is now the Innovation Center. And in the Innovation Center, that's where you have a fire academy, you have big machine technology and AI, you have hospitality and tourism, and aviation. So if a student wants to apply for one of those skill sets, they go to the Innovation Center. We are still the Entrepreneurship Center, but now we are on the campus of the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Campus. We're still doing our entrepreneurship here, and what we hope to have is at the Innovation Center, maybe those students don't have that entrepreneurship skill set, so our students can collaborate with those students.
Okay, awesome. I mean, yeah, you have somebody that's maybe more technically minded and they're over there doing stuff or the AI stuff. I mean, as we move forward into the future, like I'm sure you're seeing it too, where almost every week there's some massive leap forward in this whole AI realm. And it's like the people, your students are going to be the leaders of the new world when it comes to all that stuff. But yeah, you have somebody that's got that skill set and they're more, task oriented, but then you have the big picture people over at the Entrepreneur Center that's like, ooh, this is a great idea. Let's run with this. So the collaboration is absolutely huge. So, man, I can't even tell you how amazing that is. I just it's for me like the entrepreneur thing is so much about mindset and so much of our mindset when you become an entrepreneur maybe later in life or part of this show, the focus of this show, and then my online community is helping people transition from the 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship if that's something that they're inspired to do and practical steps on how they can achieve that. And a lot of what I talk about is breaking down a lot of the things that we were taught in school and also in our working lives as adults about relying on a paycheck and just feeling like that is the safe route. And honestly, these days that feels like less and less of the safe route because of all the disruptions. Like I just saw how Oracle, one of the biggest companies in the world, just laid off 30,000 people just the same day. They got an email at 6 a.m. that said, hey, you don't have a job anymore. Bye. Have a nice day. And so it's like having a corporate job is more and more going to become the risky thing to do. Having having entrepreneurship
Uh-huh.
skills are just so essential these days. And so the fact that you're giving kids a head start, helping them and I hate to say kids, like teenagers, high schoolers, like getting these skills that
Getting these skills and helping them fail and
yeah,
fail forward
yeah.
and giving them grace about it.
Yep, that's so I was making a clip from the presentation to give to Daryl. We chopped the whole presentation down and so you're in the clip and that's the part that I clipped from you is saying we it's like you're gonna fail and that's awesome. I say that all the time. It's like that's the difference between a paycheck job where it's like failure is the ultimate no-no. It's like if you fail, then that means you could get fired, right? So
Yeah.
everyone's trying not to fail. That's one of the big parts of the mentality of it. It's where like you're trying at all costs not to fail. But in the entrepreneur world, we're like, I know I'm going to fail. I'm trying to fail as quickly as I possibly can so I can learn, pivot, grow, and build resilience off of it. So yeah, tell me more about that and how you would try to instill that in your students.
We tell them the very first day, you are going to fail and it's okay. Not every business that enters the Entrepreneurship Center is going to be successful. That's okay, but you got to learn something from it. Even this happens all the time. I have so many stories I could tell you. And just recently, we had a student group. They have a clothing business, and they had a huge order, a couple $1,000. They did not do a great job as far as making sure that their order was correct, as far as the texture of the shirt, the color, everything. And their customer was not happy and wanted a full refund. And they're like, what do we do? This is a lot of money. I'm like, yeah. It is. Did you make an agreement? Did you show them a proof? Like, no. Oh, this is a hard lesson. Hey, at least it was just a couple $1,000 instead of over
Yeah.
$20,000.
Yeah.
And now, what's great about that, here they are in high school. They're learning this lesson. Think how much this lesson at 16 years old is going to be instilled in their brain for the rest of their lives about how important it is to have a contract.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, every aspect of that. Like there's probably several points of failure along the line that each one can maybe identify in themselves, and then it's like, okay, this is like a tangible, real world a cost and something that okay, so this happened. So what are we going to do about it? What did we learn? How do we move forward? How do we build systems to prevent this from happening in the future? Yeah, especially at that age. Like when I was 16, like I don't know,
We
my
were we were not thinking
no,
about
no.
making that much money.
No, my biggest complication was like my mom being in the lunchroom with me while I'm trying to be cool with the other kid. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, but it's like, so yeah, definitely didn't have these types of problems. But that's amazing. Yeah, that's when their brains are still formulating, they're still trying to learn these things, and so to learn that
Yeah.
at such a young age.
And and we're still trying to change that mindset of our students and our parents too,
Yeah.
that it's okay for them to fail here.
Oh yeah.
And because many of our students, we have so many high achieving students here at the Entrepreneurship Center and in Williamson County Schools, very high achieving students. I mean, you can Google Williamson County Schools and you will see the average ACT score is extremely high. We have people that move in, they move in to Williamson County because the schools are great.
Yeah.
And and failure as far as academically is not an option. I mean,
Totally.
these students are taking all kinds of AP classes. I had a student a couple of years ago. She came in, she was upset. I'm like, why are you upset? What's wrong? She's like, it's my ACT score. I'm like, oh, it's okay. What is it? Because here I am thinking, okay, it must be like below a 20. That's why she's crying. It was a 30. It
That's
was a
hilarious.
30.
Yeah.
And she
Wow.
was crying. She was so upset. And I mean, to them, a 30 is failing.
Yeah.
Crazy. So we're changing that mindset of, and I think that's what is so great about the Entrepreneurship Center. Like when our students come in, they know it's okay. Like, I'm going to try this out. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to try it
Yeah.
and see if I can figure it out while I'm doing it.
Yeah. That's amazing. And having the support from the faculty, from the teachers, like that's just unbelievable. Like
A
having
lot of, I mean, it is really like building a plane while you're flying it.
oh, totally. I compare it to like jumping out of the airplane and stitching your parachute on the way down. That's the way I feel sometimes. I'm like, yes, but I'm like excited about it. I'm like, let's go. Let's go. And it's just like, it's so much fun. Okay. So that kind of brings up an interesting question I had. So what is it like with support from the parents? Like I mentioned Williamson County, there's a lot of business owners down there, but have you run into any sort of like pushback where it's like a student is going down this entrepreneurial path and they're doing all this, but the parents are still like, hey, wait a minute, you need to go to school and get a job. Like is there any sort of that's ever come up or
Our parents are so supportive.
cool.
Our parents have came in and they said, you don't understand. You have changed my kid's life. We had a parent to come in and say, you don't realize that my kid gets up in the morning every day just to come to the Entrepreneurship Center.
Totally.
They wanted to quit school, but they get up every day because of you guys.
Wow.
And that student, I mean, his mom was just bawling.
Wow.
But he took a year. He went to Columbia State, and he's like, Mom, this is just not me. I am this school is not for me. And now he is an entrepreneur. He's 20 years old, has an apartment. He is selling sports cards. Started out selling Pokemon,
Mm.
and it has grown. And he's sold some cards that are over
Oh
$30,000.
my gosh, that's hilarious.
He has some very high-end clients. It's amazing.
Wow.
Like he has came in, he's like, "Hey, Miss Chilton," and he'd open up his wallet. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, don't show me this. Will you please just go to the bank?"
That's so great. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then yeah, it's in entrepreneurship, you don't get a letter grade. It's like, how much money do you have? How much revenue do you have? Are you able to support your employees? You're able to meet payroll. It's like these things are like life and death, basically. It's not,
Yeah.
success is not determined by some arbitrary standard. It's like literal, like tangible, like either you fail or you win. And so that's amazing. Well, I wanted to hear some more of your successes. So of course we saw your student, at the presentation.
Abigail Goddard
Yep,
with
Spiky.
Spiky.
Yep, Spiky. I followed Spiky. That's a fantastic. So tell us about that, and then tell us any more successes that you have.
So Abby, she actually started in our first middle school program. We decided, we were growing. We want to build that pipeline from middle to high school, and she started at Woodland Middle as an eighth grader. We call that program MX, and then she started it, and I don't even remember what her eighth grade business was. She probably can. But then she came to us as a ninth grader, and our freshman class, that was the first time we ever allowed freshmen. Because usually when we first began, our EC was only for 10th through 12th grade students. We did not accept any freshmen. So we are like, okay, we're going to try this out. We're going to try a freshman group. And they had a content creation. So their job was to create some digital content with our older students. And Scott, it didn't work. We failed forward. That class did not work at all.
Yeah.
It and we found this video about her. We did this video about all the freshmen, what do you hope to achieve? And we found it and we showed her recently this year. And it was just like, I just want to be really successful and maybe one day go to my favorite school. And, here she is. She's going to Wharton.
Cool.
She's raised over $45,000. And that's through pitch contests. She was the only high school student to do South by Southwest pitch competition. And she won the national pitch competition with the Uncharted curriculum. I mean, this is the girl that will send me texts on the weekends, at nights. She's a go-getter. She never stops. And we tell our students, if you only spend 40 minutes in the entrepreneurship working on your business, you're not going to be successful. And this girl is proof of that. Like she has to spend so much time outside of just classroom time to work on her business. And that's what she does.
Yep. And just so you guys know, so if you guys go to spikyfirst.com, you can see her business. It is a test strip. Like if you're out at
Yeah, it's a
a bar.
keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah, keychain has testing strips.
Yep.
So you can test your drink to see if it's been spiked.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Amazing. So how did she come up with this idea? And like, how did she, like, I'm just curious, how did she source the technology? How did she do it all? That's genius.
So she had a personal experience. One of her family members got drugged. And, that's kind of where the idea came from. And she did this summer program and started thinking, okay, I can turn this into a business. And then the girl got on the phone and was trying to find companies that would work with her to provide testing strips.
Wow.
She worked with another EIC student to do 3D printing keychains. So some collaboration with another student here, and that's how it began.
Wow.
And it has grown. And what we've done here at the Entrepreneurship Center is just provided her that network and that mentorship of not us, but the experts outside of the Entrepreneurship Center. So we have mentors that come in the last Thursday of every month here and meet with our students. And one of our mentors, Clay Banks, he has been on Shark Tank.
Nice.
He has been a mentor here pretty much since it began. And he has worked with Abby, not only with her pitch, but just with her scalability of what she's doing. We have different connections through the entrepreneurship and through our mentors that we are able to connect with Abby of selling them to certain sororities, and that has helped her tremendously.
That's great. I mean, obviously that's the target audience right there. So like having those deals, man, so that was really inspiring. I got to say that was, like not only hearing and well, first of all, seeing your facility. I mean, you guys have podcast studios. Like I was hoping you could maybe give us like a virtual tour. Like if you could describe, like, cause you mentioned a little bit about some of the amenities that you have there, but what I was going to say is that like, first coming there, seeing the facility, like, and it's in a great event space. Like Daryl Stinson, shout out to Daryl, did this amazing event there. And with the stage and the PA, all the accoutrements, big old LED screen, all that stuff. So it's like you guys have like an awesome event venue for one. I'm thinking I'm just showing up to an event because I was there as the videographer, right? And I'm just going to be capturing an event. And then realizing what this place, I'm like, what? Okay, they have a little cafe up there. Oh, they have like a little podcast studio over there. I'm like, what is this place? And of course, the sign out front said Entrepreneur Center. And I'm like, okay, I'm curious. You're speaking my language. Like, I need to know more about this place. And then realizing that it was a public school, Williamson County public school, like building around entrepreneurship. And then I met you. I'm just like, okay, this is unbelievable. So, and then hearing her success story as a result of this, I'm like, okay, this is a serious freaking game changer here. Like, this is unreal. So I was wondering if you could kind of just go a little bit more in detail, just give people, just paint a picture in people's minds about the facility, the amenities. I know you mentioned 3D printer, podcast studio, but just walk us through like what is actually physically in this building.
Yeah, it's about a 10,000 square foot facility, 2 floors. We have different meeting spaces for students, for staff. Like you said, we have our Innovation Cafe that just opened this past year. And that came about with a partnership with Honest Coffee Roasters. And kind of like being selfish, I love Honest Coffee. Roosevelt is my favorite drink. And also my boss, Dr. Jeremy Qualls. And we're like, somehow, if we could just get Honest Coffee to come in here, this would be really nice. Well, I started thinking about that, and we wanted some opportunities for these hard to reach populations to give them work-based learning opportunities. So what we have in Williamson County Schools and right here at Franklin High School, we have what we call transition students, transition two students. And these are students that are in the special ed program, and they're over 19 years old. So they have graduated, and they are still trying to transition into the world, right? They're still trying to learn those skill sets of how to work as an employee. So Jeremy wrote a grant, used some federal funds that was allocated for this coffee shop, and our EC students train those transition students on how to use the coffee. So now those transition students can go out in the public and serve some coffee.
That's great.
But now what we do here, we have Franklin High School, we have our students, they're becoming baristas. They're making some espressos, some lattes, coming up with some different drinks. Have a student, because of this Innovation Cafe, he's like, Miss Chilton, I really like this. I think one day I would like to have my own cafe. And he started making his own syrups. He's made a coconut syrup, a sugar cookie syrup, peppermint mocha syrup, and they are fantastic. He started making cookies. Today we had a sample of cookie. It was a lemon white chocolate chip cookie, and he cut them in small pieces. He's like, would you like a sample of my cookie? I'm like, yes, I love to sample. And he's like, well, you got to scan this QR code as soon as you try it, so I can get some good feedback.
Oh, okay. There you go. He's already got it figured out.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
There you go.
So we have our innovation cafe. Students are working that, have a manager that's in charge of the inventory of everything. Then we have upstairs, we have our fabrication lab. And inside that, we have our laser cutter, our 3D printers, our sewing machines, embroidery machines. This is the space that you want to come in. You feel comfortable about sitting down, having a conversation, doesn't feel like a classroom. We have meeting spaces. So if you are working as a group, you want to go into a meeting space because it can get loud in here. We need to practice our presentation. Let's go to a meeting space. And I think what's really impressive about the Entrepreneurship Center is that we are treating our students like professionals. I think back about my high school experience, and when you're in an academic class, and like I remember when I was in my math class, I sat in a desk. We had the overhead projector, and you were constantly writing notes. There was no, can I give some feedback? Or, if you had to question something, it's like, oh,
It's not really a two-way dialogue, really.
yes, yeah, yeah. Here, we encourage you to question us. And, we give our students constructive feedback. And it goes the same way. We want our students to give us constructive feedback. We had these meetings with our students, like, give you an example. For the first time ever, we have what we call the founder, and it's kind of like a high school yearbook, but it's more of a magazine. And we did not come up with this idea. One of our students came to us and said, Miss Chilton, he's a senior, he's like, I love the EIC. I've been part of the EIC for 3 years, and I'm really upset because I've made so many friends, and there's nothing in my high school yearbook about the Entrepreneurship Center because it's not at his local school. It's not attached, right?
Yeah.
He's like, we need to have some type of yearbook. I want to make memories. I want to have those memories of all the things we did. He's like, my first business was patches on a hat, and it was terrible. But now I'm doing this protein bread. Now I'm doing this protein pasta. And he's like, I want those memories. And I want to be able to look back and remember, oh, I had class with that person. They didn't go to my high school, but I had class with that person. So we decided, okay, we're going to go with this. He has this great idea. We make this yearbook, and then the sales were not good. We're like, you guys, let's meet up. How come you're not buying one? They're like, we just keep forgetting. I don't have any money. I'm like, y'all, it's $30. I know you have money, and I know your parents would not mind buying one for $30. Have you said anything about it? No, not really. They're like, well, I don't even know if I'm in it. What if I'm not in it? I'm like, you're in it. Everybody's in it. Your business is in it. And they just needed to really just see samples of what it was going to look like. And once I showed them samples of what it was going to look like, our sales went up.
That's it. That's it. It's about if people are resistant, it's a matter of like they don't see the value in it. It's like, okay, so I need to do a better job of communicating the value, or maybe they don't trust me. Really, that's it. The objections are trust, value, or price. Like, is it too much money? No, it's not. Okay, well then, do you trust me? I mean, yeah, I know you. Well, then you don't see the value in it. So here's the value, and they're like,
yeah.
Oh, then I need.
But do you ever remember having a conversation with your teacher about that type of feedback?
No, of course not. No.
And yeah, and here we are. This is a high school class, and we're asking our students, hey, can you give us some feedback? And that's what's great about this. Yep. We're treating them like professionals.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, Paula, this is just so incredibly inspiring and awesome. But I want to learn a little bit more about you. Like, what is your background? So tell me, like, did you have you always been an educator? Have you always been a teacher? What's your journey been like?
So I'm from West Tennessee.
Okay.
and uh, went to school at UT Martin. I started out being a PE teacher.
Cool.
I was an elementary PE teacher for 15 years. And I remember student teaching. I remember student teaching middle school and high school. And I said, there is no way I will ever teach high school. Done. And look at me now. But after I left PE, I had the opportunity to go into administration in Hickman County. And Hickman County is a very rural community. We are kind of beside Dixon. And I still live there. I drive that 52-minute drive every day.
Wow.
And I was coordinated school health is what we call it. I was the coordinated school health director. And then I worked for the state of Tennessee in the education department. Had the opportunity to come to Williamson County Schools, uh, work with Dr. Jeremy Qualls, which I always wanted to do, and came into this position and absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's just a different feel as far as I feel like I'm not a teacher.
Yeah.
I am like the principal of this, but it's a different relationship here.
Yeah.
Of talking with the students, giving them feedback of what they're doing, them giving me feedback, seeing them every day. Some of these students I've had for 4 years. And it's just a different feel. And I don't know how to explain it. We form some great relationships here. Even today, I got a text from one of my students that graduated last year. He was telling me about some deep breathing exercises because this student, he had anxiety. When it was time to get on that stage to do his business pitch, he is an introvert to the 10th degree. And he would get nervous anytime it was time to do his pitch or present or talk in front of people. That was not his favorite moment, but he did it, and it helped him so much. His mom, she said, you realize that the Entrepreneurship Center, that was his safe space.
Mm-hmm.
That is where he felt comfortable at. You guys provided that space for him. And here we are. He's in college at University of Alabama in Huntsville. He still checks up on us, tells us, what's going on. I don't know if people have that type of relationship with their students. We have students that have graduated and they still come back to see us for every break. Just last week, had another student. She brought her college friends for spring break. She's like, Miss Chilton, you got to meet my two best friends from college. Here she is. She goes to University of Wisconsin, and she brings her two best friends so that they can meet her EC teachers and see what the EC is all about. And both of them were just completely blown away. They're like, why didn't we have something like this in high school?
That's what I'm saying. Now, I mean, this is, yeah, it's like, I'm sitting over here like, well, finally something that I'm proud that my tax dollars are going towards. I'm just kidding. But it's like, okay, so do you know where the inspiration for this came from? Was this an internal with you guys? Did you see some other school district doing it? And how do we get this word out and help other school districts do something similar? I mean, this is what's going to save our civilization right here. Something like this everywhere.
So the idea came from Naperville, Illinois. The superintendent that we had before our current superintendent, they do these trips of going out and visiting other school districts, seeing what they have. And in Naperville, they had a facility very similar to this. But what they didn't have was that innovation side. And that's where it kind of came from. And of course, ours is going to be a little bit bigger and better.
Yeah.
And then as far as getting the word out, I mean, it's people like you and telling others, podcasts. We still have students and parents that don't know about the Entrepreneurship Center.
Even in like in Williamson County, like they're just
even
yeah.
in
Okay.
Williamson
And,
County.
and just to be clear too, so you service like you said the whole school district. It's not just the school where you guys are physically located, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. All 10 schools, all 10 high schools.
Okay, so that's massive. So, well, here's a question. Do you guys have like a website or a centralized location where it has like all the students' businesses listed or something that people can go take a look at?
Well, you can go to the Williamson County website and type in wcs.edu, and we are under EIC. I think it's under maybe high schools or special programs. Um, then also we have a student-run Instagram,
Okay.
uh, and it's the EIC or EC. Then also you can follow us on LinkedIn.
Okay, cool. That's great. Oh, I'm gonna have you send me all those after the show so I can make sure to put them all in the episode description. Just links to anything you want included there. But yeah, I feel that'd be super helpful. And it's just like I feel like people could get really excited about helping like if students have like an amazing business, like helping them scale it or just like, yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So you said
Yeah.
that your students do networking events. Like that's something we were talking about before the show. That's something that's kind of a newer thing for me, but I've been going to these networking events here locally, like multiple times a week. And it has been a serious game changer. I have met some people that are in my industry. And there's already been collaborations happening there. I've met people that are my exact customer that I'm looking for and nurturing those connections. But you know, when I show up to these meetings, I'm not like trying to be like, hey, come be my client. I'm just like, I try to show up and just be helpful and just like, just just curious, show up with curiosity and things just happen naturally. But you said you guys do networking as well. You do, you're helping them bridge that gap of like actually gaining the confidence to pitch and to talk to other business owners.
Exactly. So, something else that I'm a part of is our Williamson County um, uh, Chamber
Uh-huh.
and Economic Development Team. So, I actually serve as a partner liaison. I go to their weekly meetings on Mondays so that they know what's going on with WCS. And part of that position is also getting our students different spots in those chamber events. So they have women in business. And they'll say, hey, Paula, you got a couple of students that would like to set up a booth at our women in business event. I'm like, exactly. I would love that because that's one thing I really want our our young females to know, like, you can be an entrepreneur too. And so for them to see our other female entrepreneurs in around our area is such a good thing. We have the Minority Business Expo. We sent a couple of our students to work that booth. And so there's a lot of different opportunities that the students they can go and set up their booths, try to sell product, but part of that is that networking because they have to learn how to approach people.
Yeah.
Many of the students will go to breakfast with the mayors. They'll go to that event with us and serve as kind of like a student panel of, hey, we want to hear from you guys. What do you think? It's so good for the students to see what happens outside of school.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting on that point alone. A lot of times in business, we're looking for leverage. Like, where can I, like how, like for me, for example, so I run a video production, video marketing company, and my specific niche, I do events and stuff, but my specific target customer is construction. So I came from a construction background. I ran my own handyman business for a bunch of years. And I noticed that construction companies are horrible at marketing. Like half of them don't even have an Instagram, and they do these amazing like kitchen remodels, but they don't like to even take pictures of it or do anything with it. And so that's where I decided to jump in there with my background in like video production and video editing and stuff. I'm like, hey, I can really help these people. And then I don't have to break my back building decks for the rest of my life. Right. So that was part of it. Um, but so for me, when I was first starting, the leverage that I had was with my contacts in the industry already, all the construction general contractors. And so I was using my leverage in the industry to kind of build a base of clients and just kind of do some work and proof of concept and validating my offer and all that fun stuff. But it almost feels like from where your students are at, that's a big piece of leverage. It's a novelty. The fact that they are, like high school business owners, and when they show up, everybody's attention is on them. It's like, okay, well, what? This is, first of all, like, I didn't know that this was a thing, that I didn't know this is possible. But honestly, leveraging that, like, hey, we're student entrepreneurs, or no, excuse me, I'm going to say we're entrepreneurs who also happen to be students. but
Yeah, exactly.
but like using that, that's almost like leverage, and people are gonna like not only be rooting for them, but like, well, how can I help? Like, for me, I don't have like people with that level of willingness to like go, oh my gosh, how can I help you succeed? You know what I mean? So it's like that's a huge piece of leverage for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We do. We have people, mentors will reach out and say, "Hey, do you have a student that can do this?"
Oh,
Um, and
hold
it's
on. Do you have
uh-huh.
students that can edit videos?
Yes, exactly.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
I have a really good student for you, Scott.
Okay, I that's one of my constraints is editing, so I'd be willing to pay somebody to take that off my plate.
Okay.
So yeah, we should definitely talk offline. But yeah, so that's
Mhm.
huge. And I could probably send it off to like India or Singapore or something like that. But no. I think we could probably work something out. So there you go.
We, a lot of our mentors or business owners, they'll reach out because if they're a business owner and they're in their 60s, 70s, they're like, I don't understand this social media.
Yep.
They're like, do you have an EC student that can just handle my social media? Sure. Yeah. And they're so good with it and so quick.
Oh man, hold on. This might be a total game changer. Like, cause yeah, that's part of my offer too, social media management. And it could be, a good thing because I've learned how to run paid ads on like Meta and it's like that's $1 billion skill right there. If you can learn how to run ads and like prove like return on investment, return on ad spend, you can go out there and just run. So I'm working on getting really good at it. I'd say I'm decent. I'm having success with running campaigns for myself. I'm finding clients and opening up conversations and stuff. And I've got a couple guys that I'm working with on their ad campaign. So, but it's like that could be, I see like there's a lot of collaboration potential where bringing somebody on and being like, let me show you how to like run these paid ads. I mean, if your students can learn that, like, do you guys do that at all? Do you guys like do the marketing side of things and stuff?
Oh, yeah, we
Oh, yeah.
do.
Okay, cool.
So part of the things that they have to do the very first year, they also have to do a promo video.
Yeah.
And they use AI.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, they have some AI videos and they are so good. It's amazing.
Yep.
So they've learned, like what they have to type in to make it work.
Yep.
And a lot of them use CapCut.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I use CapCut all the time. I use DaVinci Resolve to do a lot of the heavy lifting, like all the color grading and all the kind of that
mhm.
sort of stuff. But then a lot of times I'll take it over to CapCut to do like the captions and make it like social media like
Yes.
social media. So yeah.
It's so funny because sometimes I'll pull up and I'm like, what are they doing outside? They're doing a video.
Yeah, they're doing content. It's like yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's funny. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. That's great to know. I mean, yeah, okay, awesome. Man, that's amazing. So you said you talked about okay, so I think AI is the future in a lot of ways. Like a lot of people think it's like a bubble or something. It's like I use it a lot, honestly. I use it I use it to help me with business strategy like before, like for example, like with social media content. It's like let's say 30 years ago, if you're coming up with an ad campaign, you had to have like a focus group and like a board meeting and to come up with a list of like 50 hooks or ideas for an ad campaign. Like that was like a very labor intensive, took probably months to kind of figure. Now you can literally type it in and get that in like 5 seconds, literally. And
Yes.
so I look at it as a very powerful tool to help um, gain leverage and also delegate tasks and all that stuff. And I'm just learning about these agent things, these AI agents, like these little claw bots. Like it's really interesting stuff. I have a buddy that's doing some really innovative stuff as far as that goes with it. I know a lot of people that are actually, and so it's like that's the future.
Yeah,
You know,
we've been trying to tell our students that too. Like,
yep,
um, our students, they were doing surveys,
yeah,
surveys about their business. And in the past, they had to do their own surveys. Of course, they would send it out. It would have typos. The questions didn't make any sense. And now they're able to use ChatGPT, the AI, and make some really good surveys so they can get some good feedback.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so, just instilling that in them, I mean, they're going to be that's like I said, like, everyone's like worried about their job getting replaced or getting replaced by AI. And it's like, you're not going to get replaced by the AI directly, but you're going to get replaced by like a 19-year-old that really knows how to use AI. Like that's what it's going to be. It's like those 30,000 Oracle employees that got replaced, there's probably like three or four maybe AI people that are managing the AI so that's what they got replaced by are two or three people that have learned how to leverage the AI tools to do the job of 30,000 people, basically, is what that is. And so, I have a lot of hope, honestly. I think that a lot of people, there's a lot of fear and a lot of people that are like worried, but I think that the future is going to be people who know how to leverage these tools to maximize their output. Or it's like a great example I use is like a graphic designer, right? So a graphic designer, their phone's not even ringing these days, I'm sure, because I can go to like Grok Imagine. It's an AI image generator thing, right? I type in, like, if I want to design a new logo for a new business, I'm like, give me a design for a logo, and it spits out tons of them, and I can just scroll and scroll, and it keeps generating them as I scroll. And it's like, so I can create like 100 logos, and they all look great in like 5 seconds. And
Yes.
so if you're a graphic designer, you could get trapped in the idea of being like, okay, well, oh, it's hopeless. I'll never, but it's like, no, no, no. Think about it. Now you can integrate that into your system, into your workflow. You can offer a higher value service where it's like we do logos, branding, website, because I could type it into Claude and get a website in 5 seconds too. It's like, so you can up your offer, become even more value and service more clients and make more money with it. And so it's like,
Exactly.
that's the mentality that we have to have. It's like the same thing as like the horse buggy companies are like, oh, we're going to be replaced. And it's like, but these newfangled cars that are coming out now, it's like, well, you already have the wheels, you already have like a facility to build things. Like, we just need to become a car company. We need to stop being a buggy company. We need to become a car company. And then we're going to be able to uh, create a much higher value service for people. You charge a lot more for a car than a horse and buggy. So it's like, and less upkeep than having to take care of a horse 24 hours a day. So it's like that. It's like it's the same type of thing. So I'm a firm believer of seeing these tools as a way to just level up. And I think we are just limited right now by our imagination when it comes to these AI tools. Like, we're only limited by our imagination at this point, because it's just so that's awesome that your students are really, it's getting ingrained to them at this age, man. It's just like, that's the core of it. So much of these principles, whether it's the entrepreneurial mindset, the actual use of these tools, being instilled before they even hit the streets in the real world, is just like, you're giving them such a huge advantage in life.
Yeah,
And
we want them to be able to use that skill set.
yeah, yeah, it doesn't do any good if we don't use it. But of course, but then again, like, let's say they do go to college, right? I mean, hey, that's probably a good path. Like, if you're going to get into like business management, finance, any of these things, like getting a degree would probably be helpful in a lot of senses. But then again, we're entering this crazy new world where probably colleges as we know it are going to be more and more irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, even doctors, we're going to have AI doctors in like 5 years, folks. Like, that's what it's going to be. AI doctors and robots. Like, that's what it's going to be. So it's like, it's so crazy to even think about this world that we're entering in. But I think at the end of the day, no matter what, the things that are going to persist into whatever future is about to come is some of the basic things, like learning how to make an offer and learning how to take your offer to market. That's what being an entrepreneur is coming up with an offer and bringing your offer to market and allowing people the opportunity to say yes to your offer and give you money for it. I mean, that's really what it is. So
Mhm.
that's never going to go away. So anyway, yeah, that's one of the things I like to say. Like, when I'm in my course, I talk about, it's like, and like the first module of like how to become an entrepreneur. That's the name of my course, right? To go from the 9 to 5 to, it's like, I'm like, you have to just start saying to yourself today, I am an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. And if you're still in the working world, I'm an entrepreneur that's using this job as venture capital to build my empire. Like, that's the mentality. So to have that mentality at a young age, man, it's like, oof. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty impressive stuff. Well, is there anything else that you can think of that you'd like to add on, or any other words of wisdom?
Well, if anyone, if you're listening right now and you're like, how can I get involved? I want to be part of this entrepreneurship center. We have mentor days. It's the last Thursday of every month. I'll send Scott the QR code to sign up, and we would love for you to come out and to meet some of our students and give them constructive feedback. That's what we're all about. They don't want you to sugarcoat anything. They want you to be real with them. And you are welcome to come to any of our events. We do have a final pitch. Well, it's passed, but we have that Shark Tank style pitch competition, and we hope, I feel really good about it. Our national pitch competition will be in June, and we hope to be sending another business here from the Entrepreneurship Center. So that way we can say we're back to back to back champions.
Oh, I have no doubt about it. And well, are you aware of, okay, so there was the one in Illinois. Is there any other places in the country that have anything comparable to yours that you can think of? Or
there are some other entrepreneurship centers. And what is really great is now they're popping up in Tennessee.
Okay, good.
Word has spread. So in Nashville, in Clarksville, in Sumner County, and they are reaching out to us saying, can we come to the EC and come and job shadow your teachers? Can we sit down and talk about what you guys do? And we're like, yes, please come. Everybody should have this type of program in their school district.
I agree. This is the most important thing that I think that any school district could invest in. I mean, it's investing in skills that persist beyond anything. I mean, not to knock the other classes, but it's like, man, you're right. This is really what's going to carry on into the future and really help students find success, whatever path they choose. Even if they go to the corporate world, having these skills is just going to be their unfair advantage in life amongst everybody else. So this is really cool, Paula. I'm really inspired by this. I just can't commend you enough for this amazing work you're doing. I'd love to have you back, and of course, after the competition, and just let me know if there's anything I can do to help. And I'm sure we'll be talking offline because I can use some help too. Like that'd be cool. But in general, I think this is just amazing, and I hope others feel the same way, and maybe they'll reach out. And who knows what we'll shoot this conversation out there, and who knows what'll happen from there. So
yeah, well, thank you, Scott, for having me, and maybe the next time I'm on this podcast, I'll have the next national champions on here as well.
There you go. I would love that. So. All right. Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. That was so awesome. And if you guys want to learn more about how to become an entrepreneur, just go to the episode description below. You'll see the link to the school community. Come join, come hop in. I'm actually in the middle of doing an 8-module sales course, which will be up maybe by the time this episode is out. And so we're just getting crazy over there. So make sure you come join now, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.